evening, and you're listening to Good Talks. This is Gil,
I'm Lou.
and we will be discussing about last week. It has been truly an eventful week.
I would say so.
Crazy. Very crazy. I don't even know how to start. Like, I had everything, or I thought about preparing for so much, right?
It was just too much for you to
Yeah,
prepare.
it was just too much. And we don't have a production company or something like that.
Well,
A group.
You're a team of one.
Yeah, it's a one-man show over here with all the freaking all the devices and the media and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was a little overwhelming for me. But I did want to touch upon everything that happened this past week. And it was quite eventful. Quite eventful. So where would you like to start?
Well, I think we should start from
The taxes? You want to start with the taxes first?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the easiest thing to tackle, right? I guess. So I'll give you a quick story from me, really quick,
Lightning quick.
like lightning fast. So I've had the same job for a while, right? My salary never really changed. Never changed whatsoever.
Well, it changes a little bit, but it
wasn't significant. It
yeah.
wasn't significant. So I guess my point is, so I am here, and I'm not too sure. We got someone who said that they couldn't hear. Not sure why, but either way, if you can't hear us, hopefully you can. Let us know. Shoot us a message.
No, it's fine. I just tested it.
So either way, I've had the same salary pretty much for the longest, give or take. Not anything significant, but enough. So prior to last year, I had a good chunk of change coming to me during tax season. I was one of those people that was like, hey, you know what? I was eagerly awaiting for my taxes. You have to excuse us with the sirens. Of course, this is New York City, so can't hide that fact. That's why it's Good Talks NYC. But either way, I was anticipating my taxes. I was waiting for them. Vacation was calling me. It was saying, Gilbert, please come. And, it was great. So I got my taxes, got extra. It was cool. Put it towards bills and stuff. And then the year after, our president decides to change the tax code, right?
Yes, he did.
I mean,
With
I guess
all the Republican support, by the way.
I guess whatever it was, things changed, and it was supposed to be good for the middle class.
No, that's how
right?
it was spun out. Like, they spinned it as it was supposed to be something good.
They spun it as yes.
Yeah.
Okay, they did.
And then it wasn't.
All right. Well, either way, it was supposed to be good for the middle class, right? But guess who owed money? Yep, that was me.
You.
That's it. It was me. And I couldn't believe that. I owed money. I know. It was so horrible. It made me so sad. I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell did I owe money to the IRS now? How? I pretty much had the same salary. What the hell is going on? And you.
I was going to say. And
you look at me with that smug face.
The kicker is, okay, so long story short, I work out of state. So I don't work in New York State. So technically I get double taxed. So I'm the one that normally owes money because for whatever reason, it's always a little short. So I always end up owing, I don't know, a few $100s at least. So anyway, like he said, the first year, I mean, I think ever since I've moved to New York, I've always owed a little money. Even increasing my, they don't take, I don't claim myself during the year. I take the most amount of taxes I can, and I still end up owing money. So anyway, this past year, guess who got a refund?
Son of a Jesus. I mean,
I was shocked because I come to expect it now. It doesn't matter what I do. It just always, I owe money. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
So how did it feel? How did it feel for you?
Felt like the good old days.
It felt like the good old days, right?
I used to get a return.
So funny. Meanwhile, me over here, I don't get jack shit, man. I get crap, man. I mean, I don't get that much. My salary isn't high. And honestly, for what I do, the amount of emotional drainage, physical drainage, mental drainage that I have to go through, I would think that someone like me would get paid pretty decent, pretty good, but I don't. So here you are getting a refund, right? And here I am
owing money.
Owing money. Guess how much? Guess how much? Well, you guys can't tell me.
I know.
I mean, yeah, you guys can't tell me. I mean, you can if you are if you're listening live, you can actually chat with us. I do see the chat. Welcome, Ubel. You're a new listener. It's good. Yvette Ortiz, she's a veteran.
Yeah.
She's a loyal
She's
fan.
our number one.
So yeah, what I made, or rather, what I owed was how much?
Like $700.
$715 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, how in the hell do I go from getting a pretty good return the years before, and then I get jack shiznit the years after? $715 I owe to the IRS, to the federales.
And already, okay, so let's fast forward a little. So since we filed, and I think I waited because long story short, I've done our taxes for the last 2 years. I think, both years I did it. And for mine, it's like I can't wait for my W-2 because I just like to get it over with. But yours, when I did yours and you owed money, I was like, oh, I'm going to hold off on filing this.
Right. You were like, holy shit.
I'm like, you know what? What's the point of filing it early if you owe money?
So here we are watching the news, and come to find out
that this dude,
this mother heifer, Trump, only paid how much?
$750.
And he got a refund of like 74 million or something like that, right?
Previous years.
The previous years?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, whoa, that's crazy. And it is true, Nor. It is true that the rich, they have assets and everything else. It's understandable. But at the same time,
yeah, but they're getting way too many tax breaks.
Too many fucking breaks, man. I'm sorry. This just irks me. It irks me so much, yo. It irks me so much.
Mind you, you have to be very careful on what you claim on your taxes because you don't want to get audited. And that's always been, our fear because we don't want to do anything that's wrong.
Well, yeah, of course not. I mean, I wish I could do that. I wish I could have some. I mean, again, I can't afford a tax person to find every goddamn loophole that they possibly can.
Okay, so think about it. If we would have paid, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it,
Sure.
H&R Block.
Yep. Oh. All right.
If we would have paid them again, they charge like $200 to $300 to do your tax return, and then you owe $750. How's that look?
Yeah, that's not a win-win situation for me.
No.
Yo, what is happening outside today?
It's a little too much drama.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, I'm thinking to myself, this is not right. Something is wrong. Again, it boils down to, and I'm not gonna say Trump. I'm not gonna say it's his fault. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he is a part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
He is a part of the problem, and he's not looking to fix the problem. Why is he not looking to fix the problem for people like us, for the little guys? Why is he not willing to fix the problem? I don't know yet. Hold on a second. All right, now I was giving you a little crickets because the siren was just ridiculous. I don't know what's happening, and it's annoying when you live on a major street. The street is everywhere. I wish I lived on a side street. It'd be so quiet. But either way, this is New York City. This is Manhattan, and this is what we have to deal with. So
freaking sirens.
So bear it. So yeah, I don't understand. I'm not going to say again it's his fault. I'm not saying it's Trump's fault. I would say that, if anything, try to find a way to help out the little guys, man. The guys who are really providing the power, man. The power behind the United States of America. Actually, I can't even call it that right now, to be honest with you. I can't call it the United States of America because we are not united. But yes.
The divided states of America?
The divided states of America, sure. And I really feel like it's a slap in the face to someone like me who makes 99.9% less than he does. And yet I'm over here paying the same amount of money to the feds. I want someone to rationalize that for me. I want someone to rationalize that for me. And I would say yes, a part of that is partly because of who's in office, the Democrats, but at the same time, you do need both the Democrats and the Republicans to play nice with each other. Because what I've seen, what I've researched before was the fact that even if the Dems were in Congress, senators are in what? The Republicans are in the Senate.
The Dems would have never passed a tax cut for the rich. I'm sorry. They wouldn't have. Because like I said before to you, I don't think I have had a good tax return since I was claiming my kid. He's 23 by now. So it's been a while since I had a good tax return.
So what do you think the problem is?
Well, there's a comment on there.
Sure.
That why does it fall on him? And the only reason I think that people get upset with him,
sure,
myself in particular too, is because he so-calledly ran on helping the middle class.
Right. It's exactly what it is.
And that's my issue with it, because
exactly
that's bullshit. And yes, I used the BS word. That's
geez.
bullshit that you're going to pass a tax reform for the rich who already don't pay a lot of taxes as it is, because like it has been mentioned on the comments, there's a lot of assets and deductions and all these loopholes that they can keep taking.
That's exactly what it is.
As it is before the tax cut, but he just made it a little easier for them.
Of course.
So how's that work?
Well, he did point out when he was in the debate for presidency with Hillary, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the presidential debate with Hillary, and she pointed out that he doesn't, or he owes, or whatever the case may be.
That's why he didn't want to show his taxes.
And he said, he paid or whatever it was, and he said because I'm smart.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's what he said. Now that's good. You are smart. I think anybody who can afford it.
Well, he's not smart. His accountants are smart.
Anyone who, you put people in place for you, but anyone who can afford it should be able to find loopholes if they can afford it. Now, I can't afford it. I'm that guy. I would like for you to call in, Mr. Cabrera. I have no problems with you calling in, since you're saying it's not true.
What's not true?
I guess he was pointing to, he was commenting on Noor.
Oh.
But yeah, for anyone who wants to call in, feel free. Number is 347-360-4440. Again, that's 347-360-4440. Again, for me, I'm the little guy. I'm the one that's not making the money like that. I don't have that much money to put out there for a tax person to do all this crap and find loopholes to get me an extra couple of $100, back from my taxes. And I still owe you like $300 or $400. I can't do that. It's just, if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars, then yes, I would do that. But I don't. I don't even make more than $50,000. Is that pathetic? That's pathetic, isn't it?
No.
It is. For what I do.
For what you do, it is.
For what I do, it is. Actually, a little bit more than that. But yeah, it's not as much. So therefore, I can't afford to pay as much in order to find loopholes and get myself out from paying $700 and something. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So why not have both sides, both parties play nice? You know why? Because each party has their own agenda for their own, whatever it is, their own people. What they want for their states, for their cities.
I was going to say, they're supposed to be representing their constituents from their states. And unfortunately, all states are not created equal.
I mean, maybe so. Maybe so. I mean, but at the same time, there's a lot of hypocrisy. So it is true that I would say, all right, so Bell pointed out that the Democrats don't help the middle class. Ooh, I would like to say yes and no, because the reality is not even the Republicans help out their people. Because I do believe that, again, it's something for something. It is something for something. And I would like to know of anyone who's making less than $75,000, $50,000, who's actually a hardworking citizen, who's contributing to this country. I would like to ask anyone to come forward and say, you know what, this is what I did, this is what I've done, and I'm totally fine with getting screwed over. I mean, you could find another word, or another word to phrase it, but I would like that. I want to see what happens to that. So you have Nora P, who sent us a message. Not too sure what she said.
New York City taxes are high due to all the additional programs in place for your residents. Florida taxes are low, but we don't have 1/8 of what is offered in New York City. I would say that is a damn good point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to say, even between New Jersey and New York, there's a big difference in the amount of stuff that New York State offers as opposed to New Jersey.
Right. So
I have to say, for the fact that the taxes are so high, you do get something out of it. Especially if you have kids in the city and there's all these programs that you can do that don't cost anything. And the fact that you guys could pick schools.
Yeah.
Where I came from, you can't do that.
Well, there's so many damn schools in New York City. It's ridiculous, man. There was so many schools. If you didn't get into the schools, or one of the 5 schools that you chose on your list, if you didn't get into any of those, you would be you'd be going to your zone school. And usually the zone schools are the worst schools. It's horrible. So I was fortunate myself, but I know it's not the same, as in suburban areas, because each what do you call that again? Each county,
yes,
right?
In New Jersey, counties
has their own schools, right?
No, not even. There's districts.
All right, districts. So, like, if you were to live in a certain district, you can only go to that school.
Yeah.
So no outside person can go to that school.
There are schools that you have to apply to. You can apply to, like, a vocational school or, like, a science high school or something like that. But the majority of people go to their, like you say, zone school. It's a district school.
Right. That is true. We do need a complete revamp of our antiquated system.
Mm-hmm.
That is spot on. I wish, again, it all boils down to both sides, the blue and the red, to play nice and stop with the bullshit, because it really is hurting many of us. And it's many of us who are not making more than $70,000. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So, again, we can point fingers at President Trump, but at the same time, it's not really him. He's not the one.
He's just one little part of that.
He's not the one that you would go, oh, it's all your fault. It's all your fault that, I'm not getting this amount of money back or something like that. That's not really the case. But the reality is, back in the days, right? And I would say back in the days, like 3.5, 4 years ago, I wasn't really feeling bad. I wasn't feeling nervous. I wasn't scared or whatever. The economy, I thought, was good. The economy was pretty decent considering where it was 11 years prior. 11 years, 9 years prior to that. The economy was pretty damn decent. Now, I'd like for someone to point out that the economy wasn't good back in 2000. I don't know, 15. 14, 13. I want someone to point out that it wasn't that good. Can someone point out that our economy was kind of crappy in 2015, 16, 14, 13, whatever it is? Can someone point that out? I don't really think you can. I don't really think you can say that the economy was just garbage back then. But what did we hear this whole entire time? Oh, the economy. He's going to make the economy great again. He's going to make the economy great again.
Well, wait, in fairness.
Okay.
In fairness, the economy is great for people who have 401ks.
Right.
And for people who have stock and invest in the stock market. It's great for them. You know, and this is what we've talked about offline. You know, I have a 401k. I'm privileged to have one from this job because I never had that before. And I can't complain about that. However, again, if he ran on the premise of being, you know, the middle class, you know, champion for the middle class, a lot of people don't have 401ks.
So, again.
So what do they benefit out of it?
Well,
Nothing.
I don't really know. So Bell said, yes, but actually people that work in New York are suffering because we don't qualify for anything.
When you get to that place where you're above middle class, well, I guess you could say lower middle class, but below, you know, being well off.
Right.
Yes, we are in a sucky area because I kind of fall into that trap too, where I don't qualify for a lot of things, but I pay a hell of a lot of taxes, which is ridiculous. Well, you know, again, compared to $750,
and I owe taxes.
That somebody else paid.
So I mean, yeah, that is true. It's one of those things where you're just like, man, should I keep working hard or should I just live off of the government and get the freebies? Now, for me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to not work and not, you know, earn money to, you know, buy a house, you know, travel, savings, and that's not what I want to do. So of course I'm going to work my ass off to get those things, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is kind of crappy. No matter how much work I put in, I'm still getting screwed somehow. All right? So we have a president who, again, and this is why I don't really like listening to these stupid debates. I don't like listening to that crap. I prefer to, you know, again, when Trump, I know I'm kind of diverting, but when Trump won and people were going crazy and pissed off and crying and everything else, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, let him do what he says. You know, let's see if he's going to do what he says he's going to do. Give him a chance. Let us see first before crapping on him. And the reality is, Trump is not the one that we need to look out for. He is not the one that we need to look out for. You know who we need to look out for? You know who the people are that we need to keep an eye on, vote, in, out, whatever? Congress, Senate. Those are the ones. It's not even the president.
Well, it was funny because I think it was mentioned when was the last mid-year election? That was
like 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago.
They were saying how important it was, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Now they're saying how important it was, but it's funny because before most people didn't vote during midterms.
No one realizes it. That's the problem.
Because you think, oh, it's, you know, it doesn't really affect me, blah blah blah. It affects you actually more than everything else does, because it's supposed to be who represents you.
Right. But no one really thinks that because they're so quick. Those people are so quick to make you focus your attention on the presidents, right? So they're focused on Trump, like he's the bad one. And I'm not going to say that he's a bad president when it comes to the, you know, things that he's done, you know, bills that he's signed or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to say that he's a bad president because the reality is every goddamn president comes in and they basically, you know, have to govern our country, sign bills that come their way, and they could propose stuff themselves, and you know, it either passes or it doesn't, right? Mm-hmm. Senate, and that's pretty much it. But you do have to lead, and that's one of the biggest things that we have forgotten as a society. We have forgotten what leaders are supposed to be like. So, one of the things that I just mentioned again was voting for your senators, for your congressmen, congresswomen, congressmen. And I got a little video that if you can use this and send out to people. If you haven't seen it, you know, great. If you have, dish it out, send it out. Here's the video. It's a rap, by the way. and it's actually pretty damn cool. Here you go.
Enough electoral votes, more than 270, more than enough to become the 44th President of the United States. He will be the first African-American President of the United States.
I've been broke all my life, but I kept hope all them nights. You see business in my city? Yeah, they closed all them twice. I was just riding down Salem, all them damn potholes, I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Don't nobody care about us, and that's why I don't vote. Voted for Obama back in 2012, I remember that's when I had hope. Hurt them when they see the polls.
Every time you stay home, someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
Yeah, that was my fault, man. That was my
messed it
fault.
up, man.
I did mess it up. But at the same time,
shout out to Kelly for letting us know she couldn't hear it.
What I can do is post it up another time. But it's actually a pretty, I don't know if you guys caught it, but it is a good video to share with the youngins as well as yourself. Because the reality is, it's the Congress, it's the Senate. They're the ones. And I understand that, again, I'm not going to, sit here and put the blame on just Republicans. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to sit here and put the blame on the president or the Democrats. That's not what I'm going to do. I just go by what I see, and the funny thing is, the reality, I've paid more attention to what we have. We've paid more attention to politics
way more
as of late than anything else.
Well, with the last election.
Right.
That's when it really started. Remember, I didn't watch any of the primaries.
Right.
Until it got down to Hillary and Trump, and then we started watching it a little closer, in disbelief.
All right, so quick, side note. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video at the end of the podcast, so whoever's still around, they can actually watch it. It's a good track. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I know what I did wrong. But yeah, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's the president. It's only it's the Republicans, it's the Democrats. I'm not gonna do that because for me, I've noticed a lot of things. It's they're both sides are playing BS pretty much. But I do find it funny how a lot of what I have seen is hypocrisy coming from the Republican side.
Oh,
I've seen a lot of hypocrisy coming from the Republican side, and it's not like I am, just getting hearsay or someone posts something on Instagram and right away I'm supposed to believe it and like, oh, I can't believe that. No, like you hear them saying things for themselves, like there's nothing else. Case in point, Lindsey Graham. Who is he the senator for? Where is he?
I want to say North or South Carolina, one of those.
Is it South Carolina?
About to search that real quick.
Arkansas is it Ted? What's his name? Ted.
Cruz is Texas. He's
is
Texas.
it?
Yeah,
I forgot.
He's Texas.
But yeah, so I would say that Lindsey Graham is like one of the biggest ones. Case in point, here's an ad. Here's an ad that Lindsey Graham, or rather not Lindsey Graham, but the I guess the Republican, some organization, Republicans Against Trump or something like that. But if you haven't seen it, YouTube it, Google it. Lindsey Graham, goes crazy on how Trump is bad and everything else in the book.
And by the way, it is South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
All right. So check out this ad. It's against Trump. It's basically an organization, a Republican organization against Trump for Biden. But this kind of says it all about the hypocrisy.
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. What is Donald Trump's campaign about? He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell. If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, then it's probably you got a problem. You need to do some self-evaluation. Because what's not to like? He is as good a man as God ever created. He said some of the most incredibly heartfelt things that anybody could ever say to me. He's the nicest person I think I've ever met in politics. This is a defining moment in the future of the Republican Party. We have to reject this demagoguery, and if we don't reject Donald Trump, we've lost the moral authority, in my view, to govern this great nation.
Man, so much for hating this dude, right? And then all of a sudden switching to loving this guy to basically back Trump up on everything.
Everything.
Everything. Again, not to say that I don't believe that the Democrats are hypocrites themselves. Not saying that. I would like to see more stuff on Democrats kind of being hypocrites against each other. That's what I would like to see. So again, I'm not leaning towards one side or the other. I'm just going by what I have seen, not by Instagram posts or whatever. And I'll get to something in a second, but it's basically what I have seen. And I've seen these videos. It's coming out of their mouths. It's not like it's hearsay. It's not like it's a reporter who mentions something and then doesn't show the video. No, these are actual videos.
Yeah, of them saying
things. So it's not something where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, where I didn't see it like most people. So again, I don't know. And that is true. Harris was against Biden because again, when you're see, here's the thing. I believe that Lindsey Graham wasn't running for president, was he?
Oh yeah.
He
was in the first. He was in the other primary against when Hillary ran too.
Ah, that's why.
Remember,
okay, you got that one.
There was like
1 point for you, Bell.
That was like there was like 10 or 12 Republicans all running against each other.
I guess when you're
Ted
running,
Cruz, I think, was in it. Because remember that's when Trump called Ted Cruz's wife the devil or something. It was like this controversy.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah. He brought up his wife. It was bad. But anyway, again, we didn't watch those debates. All we did was I just remember seeing the stage, like when we were watching the news and how they showed like all these senators. I was like, wow, that's weird.
Right.
And then they just started dropping off little by little.
I'm guessing when you're running for president, you hate everybody. Right?
Well, you're gonna bring up
a lot of BS crap against
all
your
the
opponents,
bad stuff of the other people.
Against your opponents. Mm-hmm. This is why I like that guy. What's his name? Yang?
Oh, Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang. I loved him. Man, I loved him.
He was very smart. I wish he
such a good dude.
I wish he can get into the administration. If he can't win as president, if he could at least be in the administration, because he's very, very smart.
So from what I see, a lot of the negative ads that are going against Biden are what ifs, right? It's not even. I mean, there are some that that you can actually say, wow, he did do that. He was a part of this or whatever. I've seen the picture of the Ku Klux Klan leader or something like that. He was with him during a parade or something like that.
Biden?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or at least that's what it said on the thing.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So I've seen that, and I'm just like, wow, okay, that's crazy. So for me, it's just like a lot of what I see now are, from the Trump campaign, negative ads are what ifs. Do you want to live next to Antifa? You know what I mean? In the suburbs, the wives, do you want to move to the suburbs and live next to Antifa? Antifa moves in next to you. Stuff like that. So there's a lot of what ifs. But you cannot deny what Donald Trump has done to this country. I wouldn't say what he did to the country. The country was already in a state where, there was a lot of animosity and stuff, but
I think he brought it out.
He just allowed people to just freely do it. So here we have a situation where, we're starting the NFL season, right? We're starting
that he fought for, remember?
We're starting the NFL season, and we're in Kansas City Chiefs. I forgot who they played. I think it was Baltimore. Was it Baltimore or Minnesota? I don't remember what the team was. So here we have the teams after the what do you call that? The national anthem.
Yep.
After the national anthem, they all go to the center, the middle of the field. They all,
locked
arms in unity while the Kansas City Chiefs team played some music and then had words and stuff on the scoreboard and stuff. It says stuff like unity, stand up, end racism, and so on and so forth. Take a listen.
Thank you.
Amen, brother. Be good. We all in this together.
So the Kansas City fans booed them. They booed them. They booed them for doing that. People were pissed off saying, play football. We don't want to see you do anything else. We don't need to hear you talk about politics or whatever. This particular situation had nothing to do with politics. They did not kneel for the anthem, right? It wasn't like a big show where they kneeled. Maybe some did, but they didn't show that. But as two teams coming together, white and black, Spanish, Asian, whatever. I don't even know if there's any Asian NFL players.
I don't think so.
But they came together. Unity. That's pretty much the message, man. Ending racism. And you're going to boo? You're going to boo that? Are you serious? You know how many messages I saw on there saying stuff like, play the game. You're there to play. You make millions of dollars to play the game. We don't need you to,
Yeah, they also get concussions and
I'm
God
just
forbid
thinking, like,
injuries.
yeah, like, dude, they go out there banging themselves up, right? Yeah, they're making millions of dollars because their bodies are going through shit. Hell, I played football in college, and that was just in college, and my body was hurting. I wasn't getting paid, but damn, I love the game. But these people are over here booing for unity. Come on now. What does that say? What does that tell you, man? It's just ridiculous. The division. So now here we are, and I'm trying to move along so that way at least we can, cover this past week. Here we have, Donald Trump contracting the virus.
Oh, man. Oh, we didn't even say anything about that debate, the debacle debate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about that after. But, man, I just want to point this out real quick, man. So here you have the president contracting the virus. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. And this is what happens when all you do is hear lies after lies after lies after lies. This is what you do. You eliminate the hate. Eliminate the hate. You hate me?
Of course not.
You said yes. Ending the show right now.
That's a lot. Bad talk.
So for me, it's so hard for me to just accept everything he says. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Psh, you're not the only one.
It's just so hard, man. It really is hard. Nora says it takes time to get a nation on track. That is true. Obama started that. It should have been a passing of the baton to continue this path. Yeah, Donald Trump's ego and greed undid all of that. That is a fair assessment. That is a fair opinion, because I do believe that a lot of that contributed to the downfall. And again, this is based on going back to the coronavirus and stuff like that. How can anyone argue against that? How can anyone argue against what he did?
What do you mean about the downplaying?
When it came to the downplaying. If you haven't heard, this is basically what you're going to hear, and this is like him. Again, this is all factual stuff. It's not like it's hearsay. It's not like, you see stuff on Instagram, which, again, I'm going to go to after this.
Side story.
Side story. So, yes, I'm going to point that out. There you go. Check out the audio. Again, Trump.
And so what was President Xi saying yesterday?
Well, we were talking mostly about the virus, and I think he's going to have it in good shape, but, it's a very tricky situation.
Indeed
it goes through air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. The touch, you don't have to touch things, right? But the air,
so he knows
you
it
just
goes
breathe
through
the
air.
and that's how it's passed. And so that's a very tricky one. That's a very delicate one. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus.
More
people
deadly
don't realize we lose 25,000, 30,000 people a year here. Who would ever think that, right?
I know. It's
pretty amazing. And then I say, well, is that the same
Mind
thing?
you, this is February 7th.
This is more deadly.
February
this is
7th.
5 per, this is 5% versus 1% and less than 1%. So this is deadly stuff. Now it's turning out it's not just old people, Bob, because today and yesterday some startling facts came out. It's not just older
yeah, exactly.
young people, to plenty of young people.
So
what's going on
give me a moment of talking to somebody, going through this with Fauci or somebody who kind of it caused a pivot in your mind, because it's clear just from what's on the public record that you went through a pivot on this to, oh my God, the gravity is almost inexplicable and unexplainable.
Well, I think, Bob, really, to be honest with you,
sure, I want you to.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes,
because I don't want to create a panic.
But let me ask you this. I mean, we share one thing in common. We're white, privileged, who my father was a lawyer and a judge in Illinois, and we know what your dad did. And do you have any sense that privilege has isolated and put you in a cave to a certain extent is it put me, and I think lots of white privileged people, in a cave, and that we have to work our way out of it to understand the anger and the pain particularly black people feel in this country. Do you
No, you really drank the Kool-Aid, didn't you? Listen to you. Wow. No, I don't feel that at all.
Do you think there is systematic or institutional racism in this country?
Well, I think there is everywhere. I think probably less here than most places, or less here than many places.
Okay, but is it here in a way that it has an impact on people's lives?
I think.
I don't know. Like I'm reading your messages while I'm going through this, but at the same time, the reality is Trump knew how dangerous the virus was, and what did he do after that? What did he do after that? Continue to downplay it. Continue to downplay the virus. And
well, again, and he didn't. There was no federal mandates on wearing masks or anything like that. He left it up to the states, as he kept saying. He left it up to the states,
right,
to give out the recommendations and stuff.
Right. So here we are, where millions of people are believing everything that he says, right? Because that's the truth. Millions of people were believing everything that he said. Now, okay, there's a quote, and it was from a reverend. I don't remember the name. But he said, lies are easy to get away with if they are repeated often enough and given voice by many different people. Repeat a lie often enough, and that lie often becomes conventional wisdom. Repeating a lie doesn't change the lie into the truth. It changes the people hearing the repeated lie. They begin to accept the lie as truth. That is spot on for this.
Yeah, I would
spot
say the
on
last
for this.
4 years.
Now again, this is our country. Your president, our president, continued to downplay this, and yet we're supposed to believe him and everything that happens. Like, did we not see so many lies coming from that cabinet, from the House? Didn't we see so many for us to go, wait a second, hold on? I know I have, but the problem is a lot of people don't want to dig deep and find out what the true story is. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. And we can continue to say, Trump is great. He's the best thing. Mm-hmm. And then we can continue to say, oh, he's such a fucking liar, whatever. But the reality is, what he dishes out has been proven to be lies and bullshit. So, as a leader, is that something that we want? Hell, I ask you guys this. For every one of you that's listening. If you had a woman, a man, husband, boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend, wife, even friend, and that person continuously lied to you, when are you going to say, screw that, I'm out? When are you going to do that?
Well, traditionally, when it's done in your face, that's when you finally supposedly have enough.
Well, this was done in our faces.
I know.
He literally downplayed it, and then he continued to have all these rallies knowing what the problem was, and then he continued to, again, downplay it some more, continue to have rallies, downplay it again, blame China, blame China for the Kung flu or whatever it was.
I don't remember hearing that.
Or the China virus.
Oh, that was a good impression.
So, yeah, he continued to do that, but yet he knew February 7th, and even before that, his own cabinet member sent him a memo stating, listen, we have to prepare because this is very serious. And it just it was a wash. It didn't matter. Didn't matter. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, geez, how could you? Okay, fine, no problem. So not only do we have a country that's sick now or has to worry about this virus, but now we have to worry about a violent country because we're so divided. It is worse than what I was back then. Worse than what I was, or how I felt back then. even during Bush Jr., Bush Sr., I didn't have to worry. There were Republicans. I didn't think about my life. I wasn't worried about my life like that. Hell, I lived in New York City all my life. Being in New York City was the worst time back in like the 80s during the crack epidemic. That was worse. That was horrible. But I didn't get shot.
That's because you weren't allowed to go out.
That is true.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to mom. So yeah, for me, I'm just like, I was never afraid like that. So why am I afraid now these past 4 years? There's a lot of things that have happened. A lot of people believe every goddamn story that they see. Take the time to read through stuff. So I'm going to go down the list right over here because a friend of mine pointed out that someone he knows sent him this little fact thing that says 125 Trump accomplishments. It was a lot, man. It was just too much for me to go through every goddamn one of them. But to be fair, the 125th 100, you know what? Let me click on the link, actually. I'm going to click on the link. To be fair, it's one of those stupid thingies where they just make it seem, like it's one of them, but it actually is not. It was just
something that happened during the 4 years.
It's just something foolish. So it came from the Frank report. That's where it came from, the Frank report. The 125th was Trump did all of this while fighting flagrant abuse and impeachment charges. Are you serious?
Abuse.
Are you serious? Really? Really? Yeah. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so that was the 125th. So again, I figured, let me go through this because I think it's only right. I need to check things out because I'm not going to say, "Oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true. I hate it." No, he's not lying or that. It's fake news. Right? That's all you hear. It's fake news. No, it's like when you say it, when it's coming out of your mouth, it's not fake news. It's the truth. So here's one of them. There are several other legislations on the desks of Congress. Wait, hold on. What did I write here? Oh, yeah. Obama has also signed legislation for natives. Oh, this is the native one. So I didn't write this. So, this is about the Native Americans. There was a legislation that passed that he signed, I guess to give them money, like $6 million over 10 years and then $7 million after. I forgot what it was. So I read it. I looked at it. I researched it. It's true. He did that. These are all bills that he signed, right? Bills that he signed. Space Force. Yep, he signed it for Space Force. Hey, I'm all for it. It's not a big deal. I'm all for it. But it's basically like another NASA.
Yep.
Kind of. It's probably more than that. But again, I just need to read up more on it. But yeah, it's true. Animal cruelty will be considered a felony. He signed a bill.
Not sure what it was before.
That's true. I know, right? That's true. So the violent crime, he signed a bill or something like that, or not a bill. It just said violent crime has fallen every year since office after rising during the 2 years before Trump took over. Right?
Which would be last 2 years of Obama's administration.
Yeah, so last 2 years. So I did that. It's true and false. Crime did rise the last year of his of Obama's last term, but then other crimes rose during Trump's time in office. So violent crimes went up and down during Obama's last 2 years, but was steadily going low each year prior to that. So just like 1 year, it was actually higher. So I did research and I looked, and I'll put the link up. It's disastercenter.com/crime/uscrime.htm. And it showed that violent crime, right, was just one thing that they pointed out. But they didn't add, or they didn't show that assaults went up every year during Trump in office. It didn't show rape went up during while Trump was in office. Murders went up and down while Trump was in office. And car thefts went up. And yeah, I know, it's like car theft, but it's the same shit, man. You steal a car. It's bad. But that went up while Trump was in office. So you know how, like, you pick and choose what you want to focus on?
Selective facts.
Right. So you pick and choose whatever you want to focus on. So someone who's reading this can go, you see what Trump did? You see? He's the best thing since apple pie. You see what I mean? That's usually what happens. Moving on, number 8. Trump signed a law ending pharmacy gag orders. That is true. So, the pharmacies have to tell you if there's a cheaper prescription, a cheaper medication.
Like a generic
you know what
medication.
I mean? Like they are now bound to tell you the truth. But, again, they find ways because if a person doesn't ask, they don't tell. But they have to tell you if you ask, right? But I just wanted to point out another thing that I found. So who brought these bills out? Senators, for this particular one, Senators McCaskill, a Democrat from Missouri. Debbie, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Is that Stabenow? Stabenow,
I think. I remember that name.
Democrat from Michigan. Mm-hmm. Susan Collins, Republican from Maine. The bill passed 98-2 with only 2 senators who went against it, who did not, which was Rand Paul, Republican from Kentucky, and Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah. So, again, that's something else that I want to briefly discuss. Trump signed the Allow States and Victims to Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act. That's true. So on March 21st, 2018, the package passed, right? 97-2. Passed the Senate with a vote of 97-2. With only Senators Ron Wyden and guess who?
Rand Paul.
You are correct. Good stuff.
Thank
you. Yes, Rand Paul. Again, this is weird. I don't understand why. Number 10 is small. Trump signed a bill to require airports to provide private spaces for mothers to breastfeed. True. Tammy Duckworth, a Democrat, introduced the bill based on her experience while traveling and breastfeeding. He signed a bill.
That's a she. Tammy?
Yeah, Tammy Duck. Yeah, but I said he signed the bill.
Oh, okay. Okay, I
Right.
thought you meant like her. I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm. So, the other one was number 19. I mean, I'm just skipping. There's a few of them.
Can I ask a silly question?
Go ahead.
Before you
away.
keep going.
Okay.
So out of all of these, major bills that were signed, were any of these initiated by Trump?
No.
Oh, so everybody else came up with these ideas.
So I'm glad you stopped me, so that way we could focus on other things.
Yes, please.
Good one. So yes, that is true. So these bills are, brought up in the Congress, right?
Well, Congress or Senate.
Well, Congress, yeah, Senate.
Could be Senate too.
So they're brought up, and they take a vote, and it moves on, goes to the Senate, takes a vote, moves on. It's basically that.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to the president. So, are the 120? I'm not even gonna say 125 things because that's not even true. It was more like 121 or 20 because it was like pointless stuff. But a lot of these bills go to his office and he signs them. That's what he does. So the reality is, whether you're Obama or Trump or whoever it is, the same goes for every damn president. They get the bills that are passed on, that are voted on in the Congress, moves on to the Senate and so on, and then onto his desk. They are voted on for him to sign. So explain to me how Trump is, yes, you Bell Cabrera. How is Mr. Trump the McDonald's apple pie to our country?
Oh, well, he's not the homemade apple pie.
He is
It's
not the
McDonald's.
homemade apple pie. No, he is absolutely not.
McDonald's
So
version.
again, I'm thinking to myself,
Is that 2 for $1 now?
This is crazy. This is crazy, man. So again, and if you really want to know, about these laws that are being put out there, there are websites, bls.gov, right? What's another one?
Well, you could just post these links in the description.
Congress.gov. You can easily see where what the votes are being passed, are voted on, and so on and so forth. Which bills are ready to be signed, and so on and so forth. That's what I did. I had to actually go and check out all these bills that were signed, that were put out there, to see what Trump actually did for me to even say, wow, he did so much. But the reality is, every president has the same job, man.
Yeah,
the
but
same
wait.
job.
Stop again.
Okay, I'll stop.
Because what you also mentioned when you were doing your research is that, well, at this point, we didn't see much as far as Trump being the initiator of these bills.
Right.
But when you were researching Obama, you did notice that he initiated a lot of the bills.
Yeah.
So and
a
lot of them didn't.
A lot of them got shut down.
Yeah.
By the
Senate.
By the Republican Senate. By the way.
Yep.
Just saying.
So I think that speaks a difference between the two.
Right.
Because again, it's easy to be the last person to sign because everybody else signed, or to be the initiator of it and say, you know what, I think this might work. Let me put it out and, put it out there and see what happens kind of thing.
Well, that, again, I want to show you something before we, pretty much come to an end. But I just wanted to show a comparison. So whatever you see right here is a comparison between the two. Well, I guess for Trump it'll be his first 4, but for Obama it was his 8. This is a comparison of the economy when when Obama was in office, which you'll see the blue. Donald Trump, George Bush, right? So again, for those, and I should have shown this earlier, for those who complain about or who say Obama was bad. He was bad for the economy. He didn't do anything for the economy and so on and so forth. He didn't do anything. He made it worse. And now you have Trump who comes in and says, it was a horrible economy. I'm going to make it great. Well,
that's just because he had to pay that $750 of taxes.
If you look at it on the deficit, back in 2009, we were hurting hard. We were hurting hard. But look what happened. Less and less over time. Look at the unemployment rate, top left, right? Man, look at that. The unemployment rate continued to drop during all the years of Obama's presidency, except maybe like 2010.
Well, that was towards the end of the recession because he went in.
Yeah.
When he went into office, we were in a recession.
Yeah, we were pretty much hurting hard. And look what happened. The unemployment rate continued to drop. And then the total deficit, or the federal debt, continued to rise over time, right? Where is it at right now? Look how high it is. In the red. Not in the red as in bad, but Donald Trump continues. That debt is still climbing. The median household income was down 2014. Then it shoots up to in 2017 it shoots up. I mean, for someone who did a really bad job in office with the economy, when we were pretty much at the recession, unemployment was super, super high at that time. Obama comes in, has to take over a crap economy and bring us back. And yet, people are talking about how Obama was bad for the economy and everything else, and Trump is going to make everything great. And like my favorite friend, my pal, Mr. Pence, said during the Republican convention, Trump is going to make America great again.
I still laugh every time you say that. I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, so this is like, again, you can see it right here, Business Insider, right? Source, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You see it yourself here. You see it yourself.
Well, you can also Google it.
Yeah, you can.
I'm sorry, search it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, don't do that. Don't ever say
I'm
that.
sorry.
You can search it, and again, this is factual stuff. It's not made up bullshit. So here we have an economy that was already good when Trump came in. All he had to do was continue to make it better. That's all he had to do. But look what happened. We have a divided country. We have a sick country. Our economy is tanking. What else is there, man? Like, what else is there? Again, you send me these links or whatever about, 125 Trump accomplishments. It wasn't his accomplishments. Those were bills that were passed by Congress. A lot of them were Democrats. And there are, of course, Republicans who did it as well.
Helped. Yes.
But this is what I'm saying. Trump never accomplished something to where we can go, oh my gosh, he is the savior, the almighty. He's going to take us to the promised land. No, he is not. He divided the country. That's what he did. The country got sick on his watch.
Shit, he got sick on his watch.
Yeah, he got sick on his watch. Again, because you don't want to wear a mask? Are you serious? Case in point, for all those who complain about not having, or rather losing their freedom because they have to wear a mask inside. Oh, it's my freedom. You're not going to take away my freedom. Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Freedom Person. If you are driving a car, don't wear a seatbelt. Don't wear a seatbelt and pass a state trooper or your local police or whatever.
Or
don't
be
do
on
that.
your cell phone.
Yeah, just do that too. Be on your cell phone. Talk on your cell phone while not wearing a seatbelt, right? While you're going to the airport and tell them, I don't want to fucking take my shoes off. Screw this. I'm not going to lose my freedom. I want to see what happens to you. All you had to do was wear a goddamn mask, and you're complaining about that. Meanwhile, we're over here. I paid for a fucking ticket where I didn't have my seatbelt on. Mind you, it's my car. I'm getting into my car, and it is my life. If I choose to want to kill myself, if I drive into a pole, I'm just saying, then it is my life. It's my choice, right? We're all for, I guess, some of us can't be pro-life, right?
Pro your life?
I'm just saying, it makes no sense, and this is exactly what I mean. A divided country, a sick country, and a poor country. Are we really the most powerful nation right now? I don't think so. At least, and I'm not even going to say Obama, at least when George Bush Jr. was in office, I wasn't scared.
Well, we were scared to go into war. That's about it.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, but I wasn't scared. George Bush Sr., I wasn't scared. Obama, now I'm going to say Obama, I wasn't scared. We went through the Ebola crisis, what was the other one?
Oh, H1N1.
I mean, I don't know. I think it was like 3 or 4 viruses that came out during his presidency. Mm-hmm. And did we feel anything? Did we hurt? Did we go through anything? I don't think so. So you know what? It's not about what Trump did in office with these stupid 125 accomplishments. The accomplishments were the congresswoman, the congressmen who put out the bill, who fought for those bills to be passed to Senate, for Senate to look it over, vote on it, and then pass it on to Trump to sign it. That was what it was. It's those people who bust their ass to get out those damn bills for the people, for the country. Just because Trump signed it doesn't mean shit. He didn't do much for. All he had to do was just put a signature on it. That's all he had to do. So, again, 125 Trump accomplishments. No. You know what he could have accomplished that day that I forgot who it was, during the debate where they asked him, or Wallace asked him, do you denounce the
white supremacy?
The white supremacists? And he had a hard time saying yes. So what happened?
He screwed the pooch.
He screwed the pooch on that one. Homeboy screwed the pooch on that one. And Biden was like, it was funny. Biden was like, he was instigating. He was like, yeah, say it. Yeah, say it. Go ahead, say it.
Remember, he was like, Proud Boys.
Yeah, Proud Boys. And Trump was like, yeah, Proud Boys. What? Stand back.
And
stand down.
And stand back.
Oh, my gosh, dude. All you have to do is denounce him. Just say you don't want it. You know what I mean? And I guess, and the other thing, too, is, yeah, he said it before, but it was almost like he had a hard time just agreeing to say yes.
No, he got all flustered. He was like, just tell me who.
Yeah, what's their name? Come on, tell me. Give me a name.
Because I don't know any.
So it's just like, dude, just denounce him, man. And then come out with bills. Come out with bills yourself to actually do. And I think he did. For the record, he did denounce the KKK and considered them to be a domestic terrorist group.
When was this?
Along with Antifa. I read that.
When was this?
This is, I don't know, not long ago. Maybe like 2-3 days before.
Before the debate?
Yeah, I think so.
Still didn't hold up.
Or was it after? I think it was after. I don't remember. But it literally
that
just...
even makes less sense.
It was literally just recent.
Because if he did it before and he couldn't even say KKK on the debate, then that makes even less sense.
Right. So again...
Because he already supposedly, called them a domestic terrorist.
Again,
so it doesn't make sense.
If you really want to, look back on it, man. Again, I'm tired of a lot of people who are just fools to just go, oh, Trump he's done so much. No, I'm not going to say that. After what I've seen, after I've done the research, no, that's not true. He hasn't done so much good. It just seems like he's done so much bad. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, and that's the problem. I was rooting for the guy. I'm not going to say that I voted for him because I didn't. Technically, I didn't vote that year, to be honest with you. I didn't vote that year. I was one of those fools who didn't vote that year.
What do you mean, the first time?
The presidency.
Oh, well, you know what? Then you would have just been one more vote for Hillary.
Oh, I'm just saying, I didn't vote for the guy. I didn't vote for anybody, but I didn't root him. I didn't ask him to do a bad job. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted him to do a good job for our country. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You just have to have good values, man. You just have to be a good leader. His job, the president is not going to do all the things that Congress and Senate are doing. Those are the important jobs. Those are the people we vote for. Trump is just that person who's signing the bill and who basically is supposed to represent the United States of America. So right now, we are the laughing stock of the country.
Of the world.
Well, of the world, true. And we are the most powerful military. So I guess we're a laughing stock, but it's like we're the ones with a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Laugh now, bitch.
That's what I was thinking in my head. Laugh now, bitch.
That's why we're simpatico.
Yeah.
But
so,
okay. So we're way over time.
Oh, we are way over time. We do apologize, but I'm glad you guys stuck with us, man, because this was like some serious
we lost
business.
some people, but
we did.
But shout out to... Well, I'm just going from the bottom up. I'm not going to start from the top. But real quick, I just
started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah. So shout out. Well, first of all, we value everyone's opinion.
We do.
Even if it's different.
Yep.
We still value people's
Even
opinion
if I don't
because
understand
this is what creates discussions. And that's what we're here for. We like that. So shout out to Yvette. Shout out to Nora P. You Bell. With his McDonald's apple pies. And shout out to Kelly Brown. Shout out to Linda DeLeon. Woo. Shout out to Nori B.
Woo.
Thank you guys for a pretty colorful conversation this evening.
Oh, yes. Actually, this is the best conversation we've had. But
this is like the longest thread we've ever had.
I do hope that you go out there and you say to your friends, hey, listen, man, it was a long show, but you need to check out Good Talks NYC and check them out on YouTube because this was actually very important. We're regular folk, man. We're regular folk just like you guys. We're not politicians. I am not a diehard Democrat. I am not a diehard Republican. I am a citizen.
I'm starting to feel like I want to be an independent.
That's exactly what I felt. I am a citizen of the United States of America, and I do know that I have been shortchanged this past year, right? I've been shortchanged, and I have to watch out for my life because our leader cannot keep his shit together. That's basically what happened. And I don't care what people say. Again, I am not going to be for, it's not party over country for me. It's country for me. That's what it is for me. So if you are out there still acting as if Trump is the man, like he did so much, then, I would say you're pretty much a lost case, man, for real. Like, you're not really looking at the big picture. And I get a lot of the big picture is not something that's easily seen for me. But at the same time, I know what I have seen. And I've seen lies. I've seen deception in my face. Forget about years ago.
Yeah, this is all blatant.
Yeah, forget about years ago when it wasn't, when we couldn't see it. But, you know that the government is up to bullshit. Like, it doesn't matter what. Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter what kind of president. The government is always doing some shit. We didn't become the powerful country that we are today eating crumpets and tea and shit, playing nice. No, we did some dirty, grimy stuff.
And this is something we've also discussed. If you ever decide that you want to know what it might be like a little bit behind the scenes in like the White House, and I know this is based off of a TV show, but you have to watch
Designated Survivor.
It's on Netflix.
Oh my gosh.
It's been canceled it was on ABC. It's been canceled, but there's 3 seasons on Netflix. And I would say like the first season is probably the best one. Between the first and the second one are the best ones. But it does give you a lot of insight into kind of like the way it works in the White House. And the reason why it's a little bit more credible is because one of the people that were involved in the show actually was in the Obama administration. So
what?
So he actually played a part in helping
make it real,
make it a little bit more realistic.
And it is crazy because, again, when you're in politics, it's basically you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So you know how many backs Trump has probably scratched in order for him to get himself out of trouble? I'm pretty sure there's a lot, considering what we have found out. And it's not even hearsay. It's like factual shit. So there goes that one. But in the end, before we go, I'm going to play that video again for everyone who's still around, who's still watching.
The 6 of you guys, or maybe that's including me.
That song that
we just lost one.
You can pass. That's fine. That you can pass out. Definitely have, actually, again, let people know about the show, Good Talks.
Subscribe.
On YouTube. Have them subscribe to our channel. We're still looking for 100, so that way we can get our own customized
We're
URL
almost a quarter of the way.
I know, right? Let them know. Have them follow us on Instagram at goodtalks_NYC. Go to our website, goodtalksnyc.com. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Let them know. Here goes the video of that important, I guess you can say it's a PSA of sort, right?
Yep.
It's basically how the laws are created. So we're going to play this and then we're out.
Good Talks.
Enough electoral votes, more than 270, more than enough to become the 44th President of the United States. He will be the first African-American President of the United States.
I've been broke all my life, but I kept hope all them nights. You see business in my city? Yeah, they closed all them twice. I was just riding down Salem, all them damn potholes I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Don't nobody care about us, and that's why I don't vote. Voted for Obama back in 2012. I remember that's when I had hope. He was saying, yes, we can. And everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke. I'd never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it all on my own. Ain't no politician ever do a nice gesture. I don't even know the mayor's name. I ain't never seen her one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. What I'm supposed to do, write letters? What I'm supposed to do, blame Trump? He ain't never really gave a ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs pay enough. I think they just wanna keep us broke, cause they ain't putting none in place for us. This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complained enough, let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't wanna see us vote, and we never do, so we see the same thing. But all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you would probably never know. First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws, they just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch, yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do, okay y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The state house make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president. Now the third branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon ain't had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back. Grocery store food better, custody of your kids back. Homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters. Me and you, somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the pros.
Every time you stay home, someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.